options here. Both players adjusting the pieces. It's going to be best of 2 of 10 minutes plus 10-second increment, a handshake. Pragg opens with 1 e4, opening up his bishop here. c6, kind of the Karo Khan here. c3, the queen opens up in the position, and f6, the bishop here takes charge. Pawn comes into the center, and Magnus plays his pawn to e5. f3, bolstering the center here for white, and black pushes his pawn to d5. We have like a U setup in the position. Bishop comes out to d3, as Harshit Bhai likes to call this, a bathtub setup here. Knight to d6, and bishop f2 is what Praggnanandhaa can play to just simply castle. Yes, he plays it. Bishop comes out to f2, and Magnus has 7 minutes 54 seconds. Pragg has 9 minutes 39 seconds. Not a great move. By the way, this entire idea of Magnus of bringing the knight here is a bit too slow. The reason Pragg is castling here while the king, Magnus's king, is still in the center. Look at Pragg castling. And Magnus now plays knight f7. Pragg slowly and steadily improving his position. Knight comes to e3, looking at the f5 square, thinking about pushing d5. Bishop comes out to e7, and now knight to e2. Very useful move. Defending d4, trying to play c4 and d5. g6 played by Magnus, weakening a bit here the f6 point. And now Pragg has a very strong move in c4, and he finds it. He's not at all affected by the fact that he would have an isolated pawn because his pieces are super active. Magnus plays b6. These are a bit ugly moves that Magnus has played here. Pragg now finally goes d5. Pawn takes pawn, and now a very, very nice move here is to take with the e-pawn, and Pragg plays it. A very good move. Yes, you are afraid of f5, e4 in the center, but Pragg has analyzed that he's faster on the queen side with c5. Queen comes to c7, and now can you go rook c1 and c5? That's pretty strong, but Pragg goes queen b3, which is also quite an interesting move. Now, very important not to rush into f5, but he plays it. A big mistake here, because now Pragg has the super solid move f5. c5. Why c5 so strong? Because first of all, it attacks the knight. If you move the knight, d6 comes in. So Magnus must take queen takes c5, but now there's a deadly discovery waiting here. And how will that happen? The knight will simply take the pawn here like this, and Pragg does it. Magnus sacks his queen for a piece. Rook takes f2 and gets 2 pieces for the queen, which is completely less. Knight comes to g3, attacking here 3 times. Pawn to e4. Now just play bishop e2 and bishop h5, and it's all good. But Pragg plays queen b2, a shocking move. Just observe the reaction here. Pragg has completely missed that the rook is defended here, and it's not hanging, so you can just take the bishop. A shocking blunder. He takes the bishop, and Pragg can't believe, from being 2 pieces for a queen, he's moved into a lost position completely. I mean, not lost actually, the position is fine, but from having +3, it's now a fighting position. Can Pragg forget that he blundered an entire piece? He just forgot that the rook was defended here. And now rook e1, king goes to f8, rook e8 played, and now important to play knight h5, otherwise black himself would play h5. Knight h5 comes on the board, threatening a check here, so rook g8, trying to prevent